Tuesday, September 20th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski with a look at the latest local news, including Stratford seeking car break-in suspects, an active shooter drill in Easton, and a man setting an interesting world record in Ridgefield. Frank Granito will have a look at the forecast and a Nutmeg sports update, and Donald Lang will join us later to take a look back on this day in history. But first, Shelton police are investigating after a woman was hit by a car on Howe Avenue on Saturday. Multiple calls to police were made reporting that a pedestrian had been hit by a car in the area of Bricks and Barley Tavern and Grow Restaurant just after 9:30 Saturday night. EMS, Shelton Fire, and police responded to the scene where 32-year-old Lisa Taylor of Naugatuck was reportedly struck by the vehicle that was traveling southbound on Howe Avenue. According to police, Taylor was transported to Yale New Haven Hospital with serious injuries. The Shelton Police Department Accident Reconstruction Team responded and are currently investigating that accident. They're asking any witnesses with information to contact them at 203-924-1544. And Stratford police are trying to identify suspects they say have been breaking into cars and used stolen credit cards at local stores. Police say there have been numerous car break-ins during the overnight hours last Thursday. Those suspects, you can see them here, used stolen credit cards at the 24/7 store on Barnum Avenue at about 3 in the morning, and soon after used the stolen credit cards across the street at Walgreens. These photos were captured on surveillance during those purchases. The Stratford Police Department urges all residents to lock their cars when not attended and to report any suspicious activity in their neighborhood. And troopers and local police in Oxford are investigating a residential burglary that occurred on Pines Bridge Road. On Monday at about 11:40 in the morning, investigators responded to Pines Bridge Road in Oxford for a reported burglary. Through the course of that investigation, it was found that 2 white male suspects entered the residence and stole a Sony laptop computer. The suspects are described as 2 white males, last seen operating a small Hyundai SUV. Anyone who thinks they may have information regarding this burglary or may be able to identify the suspects is asked to contact police at 203-888-4353. And Hearst, Connecticut media reports that a Greenwich teacher is facing burglary and larceny charges. 52-year-old Patricia Woost of Greenwich is facing charges of second-degree burglary and second-degree larceny. Her bail was set at $75,000 in Stamford Superior Court on Tuesday morning. Woost is a teacher at the Westover Magnet Elementary School in Stamford, according to a district website and media reports. And 1 month after a Poughkeepsie, New York family was chased away from panhandling in Cops Hill Plaza, the Ridgefield Police Department is warning residents to be careful of panhandlers who come to town because of the kind-heartedness and generosity of local residents. This time, however, the family of beggars came from Brooklyn, New York. The scam remains the same, according to police, a husband and a mother using their children to ask for money. Police responded to the area of Stop and Shop at about 5:50 in the evening last Thursday. The people we were called about recently were apparently different people from the August incident, according to Major Stephen Brown. He said they left the area after speaking to the officer. On the town's Facebook page, the reemergence of another begging family from out of town caused some ruckus. One person saying, "I just watched an elderly woman bring them groceries, only for them to deny and ask for cash." There's more on that story at theridgefieldpress.com. And 11 of Stranger Things would be upset to hear this, but the Kellogg Company is recalling about 10,000 cases of its Eggo Nutri-Grain whole wheat waffles in 25 states, including Connecticut, because they could be contaminated with the bacteria Listeria. Listeria can cause serious and even deadly infections. It primarily affects the elderly, pregnant women, newborns, and people with weak immune systems. The Battle Creek, Michigan company said Monday it has received no reports of illnesses, but they said they learned of the potential problem after some routine tests. You can get more information on that at ConnecticutPost.com. And Easton emergency responders recently held an active shooter training incident. HAN's Chris Burns was there and talked with the responders about the drill. Check it out.
This is EMS for active shooter. So it's designated specifically for emergency medical services. They have active shooter classes for law enforcement, which is directly how law enforcement handles an active shooter situation and stops the threat. This particular class scales back a little bit, or just redirects so that we care for the wounded.
I mean, personally, the amount of knowledge you gain in 16 hours, really, in the practical sense in the field, it would take 20, 30 years. The instructors we've got have been in the field for that long, and we're taking all their knowledge combined is over 100 years of knowledge.
The Easton Police, Easton EMS, Easton Fire Department have done some interdepartmental training. We wanted to ramp it up a bit in light of some personal events that happened to us through the course of the Sandy Hook shootings. I coordinated with Dave Davies from the fire department and my connections at Easton EMS, and brought everybody together to enhance the training that we're already getting.
We started off with a lot of classroom session, how to bandage and package, and as we progress through the weekend, it ramps up more and more as you do different things over the weekend. So we take what we've learned in the classroom, the first day on Saturday, on Sunday we put it to practical use, and there'll be trauma dressings and tourniquets and packaging, and you just take what you've learned and you put it together and use it in a practical setting. It's stuff that if you had to learn through trial and error, it would take forever. It would take an entire career. So to be able to learn it in that short period of time and then, have that background is a great resource.
All right, thanks so much to Chris Burns again for that video. But we're going to throw it over now to Frank Granito for a look at the forecast. Frank.
Thank you, Kate. Possible showers in the morning today before making way for some sunshine right around noon. Mostly cloudy and warm throughout the afternoon. Temperatures in the low 80s, but that number is going to feel a lot more like 90 degrees with the humidity back up. Clear skies overnight, but still very humid and warm out. Temperatures only dropping down to about the low 70s. Wednesday, there'll be plenty of sunshine and temperatures in the mid-80s. Still pretty warm, but less humid, so it should be a bit more comfortable. We'll see a breeze throughout the afternoon with gusts around 10 miles per hour or so. Then partly overcast skies tomorrow night with temperatures dropping down all the way to about 55 degrees. Much of the same again on Thursday with mostly sunny skies. Temperatures in the mid-80s and less humidity again. Comfortable later on in the day with a wind up around 8 to 10 miles per hour one more time. Then clouds moving in overnight as we head towards Friday, which looks like it will be very muggy to end the week.
All right, thanks so much, Frank. We're going to step out for a break. When we come back, Donald Ang takes a look back on this day in history. Frank has a Nutmeg Sports Update, and we have some more news, including an interesting story on Trumbull's first selectman from the Hartford Courant. That and a lot more coming up after this.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Jeep Celebration event and Ram Power Days. Now through September 30th.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, InSports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. Players have access to soccer, lacrosse, football, baseball and softball, field hockey, rugby, basketball, volleyball, and social game facilities. InSports has also launched an early childhood development program, a daycare and pre-K program all rolled into one. Don't miss out on the fun. Find out more at insportscenters.com or call 203-268-1214. Like and follow us on Facebook.
At Mex on Main, Trumbull's very own Mexican grill, we're all about fresh, fast, and friendly service. Our Main Street restaurant offers the best in traditional and non-traditional Mexican dishes, with only the best ingredients, never frozen. From authentic burritos, fajitas, quesadillas, and salads, we have something on the menu for everyone in the family. And enjoy our open salsa bar, giving you more ways to customize your meal. Stop in for lunch or dinner at 6528 Main Street, Trumbull, or find out more at mexonmain.com.
At the Ridgefield Suzuki School, we believe that every child can. Using the internationally recognized Suzuki method, children learn to play their instrument in an environment of encouragement, parental support, and community. The Suzuki approach seeks to develop the whole child, to help unfold his or her natural potential to learn. Private lessons and group classes are offered on violin, viola, cello, and piano for children ages 4 and up, and young children can enroll in their school's early childhood classes before beginning an instrument. The Ridgefield Suzuki School, nurturing a love of music in all children. Call us at 203-403-2667 or visit ridgefieldsuzuki.com.
At Elements Massage Ridgefield, we believe in quality services that are affordable and focused on therapy and healing. The licensed massage therapists are available 7 days a week, offering deep tissue and Swedish massage, as well as prenatal and couples massage. Special introductory rates are available now, or try our Elements trademarked wellness program. For more information, contact Elements Massage Ridgefield at 203-403-3348 or visit elementsmassage.com/Ridgefield.
We are back on this Tuesday edition of Your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski. I've tweeted out my guesses for this day in history. Now it's time to throw it over to Donald Lang to see if any of them were correct.
I didn't see your guesses. I actually had time to change the script. But, it was on this day that a self-proclaimed pig gets roasted in Houston. But first we're going to go to 1946. The first Cannes Film Festival is held, having been delayed by World War II. Films from 11 different nations were awarded the grand prizes, including the Soviet film, The Turning Point, and the American film, The Lost Weekend. To 1963, President John F. Kennedy suggests that the Soviet Union and the United States could cooperate on a joint mission to the moon. Now, the proposal caught the two countries off guard since Kennedy had declared in '61 that he was determined to win the space race and had made a moon mission a priority in 1962. But improved relations between the countries and staggering amounts of money that both countries were spending on the space race made the idea plausible. Kennedy, though, would be assassinated just a few months later, and Lyndon Johnson abandoned the idea of the joint moon mission. Now we go to 1995. The U.S. House of Representatives votes to drop the national speed limit. Now, if you're in your 20s, you may not believe it, but it used to be illegal to drive faster than 55 miles an hour anywhere in the country. Enacted as a fuel-saving measure, the national speed limit was never popular and almost universally ignored. Today, every state in the country has a 65-mile-an-hour speed limit on at least some highways. 8 western states allow you to go 80 miles an hour, and one stretch of super patriotic Texas has an 85-mile-an-hour speed limit. Finally, now we go to 1973, Houston, Texas, for this. Yes, that was 55-year-old Bobby Riggs wearing a sugar daddy jacket during a battle of the sexes against Billie Jean King. The self-proclaimed male chauvinist Riggs lost in front of 30,000 spectators after having proclaimed that there wasn't a woman alive who could beat him. He'd actually beaten Margaret Court a few months earlier. Though the most famous so-called battle of the sexes, the King-Riggs match was hardly the first time a man had been pitted in competition against a woman. 40 years earlier, Helen Wills had defeated former NCAA champion and top 20 men's player Phil Neer, and a dozen years after losing to King, Riggs, then 67 years old, teamed with current top 20 player Vitas Gerulaitis and lost again, this time to Martina Navratilova and Pam Shriver. That is your look back in history for today, September 20th, and I'm Donald Ng.
All right, thank you so much, Don. I only got one right that time, but it's fine. Better than nothing.
It was a good one, though.
Yeah, it was a good one. All right, well, in other news today, the Hartford Courant reports that Republican Tim Herbst and Democrat David Alexander were friendly political rivals at Trinity College 15 years ago, but the rivalry has turned serious. Herbst, who is the first selectman in Trumbull, is working with colleagues to oust Alexander from his job as a state legislator in Enfield as part of a wider effort to help Republicans gain control of the legislature. With that ongoing clash in the background, Herbst said he inadvertently sent Alexander a text message with a video clip from the 1983 movie Sudden Impact. The video was the famous scene when Clint Eastwood, the actor who plays Dirty Harry, points his powerful gun and says, "Go ahead, make my day." Alexander says he considered it a threat and he filed a formal complaint with the state Capitol Police. The police responded by telling Herbst to have no further communication with his former friend. Alexander told the paper that in the movie, Dirty Harry shoots 5 or 6 people, and that's the iconic thing from the movie. Alexander said, "I don't think you should be joking on anything with gun violence. This has got to stop. This is getting a little unprofessional and getting a little too disturbing." Herbst told the Hartford Courant that he was stunned when he received a telephone call from the Capitol Police, but there's a lot more on that story at current.com. Let's throw it back over to Frank Granito, who got 2 right today in today's history report. So good job.
Oh, I'm thinking Tim must have been watching A&L yesterday and was inspired by all the Western
Yes,
talk.
there you go.
I thought Don missed one key event from this day in history. It's John Kovach's birthday today here.
Happy birthday.
And that's really important because John's pick for the Athletes of the Week, now presented by Runners Roost, are the Greenwich O-line. In case you missed Nutmeg Sports yesterday afternoon, we announced our first Fall Athlete of the Week nominees, presented by Runners Roost. Altogether, there were 9 nominees, including 5 male and 4 female athletes. The female nominees include Emma Lesko of Darien, Kate Czaplinski of Ridgefield, Morgan McCormick of Wilton, and Laura Beccaria from Fairfield Ludlow. The male nominees were Pablo Martinez of Darien, AJ Pykaz of Wilton, Drew Pine from New Canaan, Christian Frokaj of Norwalk, and John's pick to win it all, the entire Greenwich Cardinals offensive line. To vote for the Athlete of the Week presented by Runners Roost, go to HAN.network and you can click on the link at the top of the page. The winners of the HAN Network's Athlete of the Week presented by Runners Roost will be announced on the FCX tailgate this Saturday from Darien High School at 11:15. We'll also be announcing the winner of our fan vote game for the night of Friday, September 30th. You get to choose between Wilton at Fairfield Ludlow, Stanford at McMahon, or St. Joe's at Danbury. For the football game, which we will cover next Friday night, you can vote for the HAN Network's fan game at either HAN.network or FCAC.net. And don't forget that this afternoon we will be live from Kennedy Stadium at Bridgeport Central when the Hilltoppers will host the Hatters of Danbury. Danbury comes in tied for first place in the conference, and we'll get our first look at the Bridgeport Central Hilltoppers right here on the HAN Network. Kickoff is set for 4 p.m. And looking at a couple of scores from boys soccer this past weekend, Danbury took down Norwalk 3-2, Stanford on top of Staples 1-0, Ward over Trinity 6-0, Wilton over Central 2-0, Darien on top of Ludlow 2-0. McMahon and New Canaan played to a 1-1 draw, and Trumbull defeated St. Joseph's by a score of 3-0. That's going to do it for this Nutmeg Sports Update. Let's throw it back over to Kate.
Thanks so much, Frank. Well, we are going to step out for a break, and when we come back, we're going to recap some of the top stories we're following today and tell you about an interesting world record that a Ridgefield resident just set, coming up after this. Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan. And you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
As you're getting back to your regular schedules, we're excited to get back to doing what we do best, offering you the freshest seasonal fare and all the ingredients for a healthy start to school. So shop Walter Stewart's for everything fresh, from A, apples to Z, zucchini, and from cotton candy grapes to back to nature all-natural snack bags. We save you time by stocking all of your favorite back-to-school essentials under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
At Greenwood Physical Therapy of Bethel, individualized care, knowledgeable staff, and state-of-the-art equipment provide the best of orthopedic and sports medicine services. Our experienced therapists at Greenwood provide the highest level of knowledge and care. Greenwood accepts most kinds of insurance, and staff are there to answer your questions. Open Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., the clinic serves the greater Danbury area and is a convenient drive from Reading. Appointments are available within 24 hours. Just call 203-917-4792 or visit greenwoodphysicaltherapy.com for more information.
Washington Prime, now open on Main Street in Georgetown. Come enjoy our relaxed setting, excellent service, award-winning nightly happy hours, and feast on our creative new American cuisine. Connecticut Magazine's winner for Best Steak, Washington Prime of Georgetown.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. More than 1.5 million viewers have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment broadcasting since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
We're back on this Tuesday edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Czaplinski, recapping some of the top stories that we're following today, including that Shelton police are investigating after a woman was hit by a car on Howe Avenue on Saturday night. Multiple calls to police were made reporting that a pedestrian had been hit by a car in the area of Bricks and Barley Tavern and Grow Restaurant just after 9:30 at night. EMS, Shelton Fire, and police responded to the scene where 32-year-old Lisa Taylor of Naugatuck was reportedly struck by a vehicle that was traveling southbound on Howe Avenue. According to police, Taylor was transported to Yale New Haven Hospital with serious injuries. Any witnesses or individuals with information about that accident can contact the Shelton Police Department at 203-924-1544. And Stratford police are trying to identify suspects they say were breaking into cars and using stolen credit cards at local stores. Police say there have been numerous car break-ins during the overnight hours last Thursday. The suspects, captured on surveillance, then used the stolen credit cards at a 24/7 store on Barnum Avenue at about 3 in the morning and soon after across the street at Walgreens. These photos were captured on surveillance during their purchases. The Stratford Police Department also urges all residents to lock their cars when not attended and to report any suspicious activity in their neighborhoods. And troopers and local police in Oxford are investigating a residential burglary that occurred on Pine Bridge Road. On Monday at about 11:40 in the morning, investigators responded to the home in Oxford for a reported burglary. Through the course of the investigation, it was found that 2 white male suspects entered the residence and stole a Sony laptop computer. The suspects are described as 2 white males last seen operating a small Hyundai SUV. Anyone who might have information is urged to contact police at 203-888-4353. All calls will be kept confidential. And you may want a Lego of these Eggos. Kellogg Company is recalling about 10,000 cases of its Eggo Nutri-Grain whole wheat waffles in 25 states, including Connecticut, because they could be contaminated with listeria. Listeria can cause serious and even deadly infections. It primarily affects the elderly, pregnant women, newborns, and people with weak immune systems. The Battle Creek, Michigan company said Monday it had received no reports of illnesses, but learned of the potential problem after some routine tests. The recalled waffles are available in the 10-count packs with used-by dates of November 21st, 2017 and November 22nd, 2017. And Coast Guard Lieutenant Lydia DeCastro of Trumbull recently took command of the U.S. Coast Guard Cutter Stingray, an 87-foot coastal patrol boat. The cutter is home-ported in Mobile, Alabama, and is responsible for the area from Carabel, Florida to Gulfport, Mississippi. The mission of the cutter and its crew of 12 includes search and rescue, law enforcement, and environmental protection. DeCastro previously served on the cutter Monomoy in Bahrain. DeCastro is married to Coast Guard Lieutenant John DeCastro and is the daughter of Thomas and Susan Monks of Trumbull. She's also a 2009 graduate of St. Joseph High School and a 2013 graduate of the U.S. Coast Guard Academy in New London. And finally, Ridgefield resident Barry Gibbons has set a new Guinness World Record. Gibbons, who moved to Ridgefield with his family in 2000, surpassed the previous Guinness World Record for the most rounds of golf played while walking and carrying clubs in one calendar year on Sunday in Colorado. Playing with his 82-year-old father, Ed, who introduced him to the sport, Gibbons completed his 612th round at the Valley Country Club in Centennial, Colorado, where his dad is a longtime member. That broke the previous mark of 611 rounds, which was set by Richard Lewis at a golf club in Texas in 2011. Gibbons will now await validation of his record by Guinness. Well, congratulations to him, but let's throw it back over to Frank for another look at the forecast. Is it good golf weather, Frank?
It's going to be pretty good golf weather this afternoon. I want to know if Marty Hersom will let me attempt to break that record.
You just need one extra, just 613, and you're
exactly.
good. Yeah.
We'll have possible scattered showers early on this morning, but things will clear up by noon, making way for some sunshine and plenty of heat. Temperatures in the low 80s, but with the humidity, it's going to feel a lot closer to 90. Clear skies overnight, but still very humid as we head into Wednesday. Plenty of sunshine on Wednesday, but not as warm. Temperatures in the mid-80s with a light breeze through the afternoon and the humidity down. Partly cloudy skies overnight, and we'll see temperatures drop down to the 50s. Much of the same on Thursday with comfortable temperatures in the 80s. Plenty of sunshine, low humidity, but the clouds move in Thursday night as Friday looks like it's going to be very muggy, but hopefully that will be the last day as we could see temperatures in the mid-60s by the weekend and really start to get that fall feel. But it could be a tough next couple of days, Kate.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Frank. We're going to wrap things up here on your coffee break. The Drive with Denise coming up at 12:30. Nutmeg Sports at 2 o'clock. And, of course, boys soccer live at 4 on the HAN network. We'll see you tomorrow for your coffee break at 11.